Dude, we got a special episode today. We're actually recording the very first day that we started recording. What's the date today?
The 25th of August.
25th of August. It's about 1:40 p.m. We've actually just struggled for the last 5 hours to get audio up.
It was the worst thing ever.
Yeah, but we had to get this episode in because it's a special episode. It's a special thing we're doing. Do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, so basically, I'm currently dating my girlfriend, and
What's her name?
Connie Ann Gonzalez.
That's
her
nice.
name.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Anyway, but we wanted to do a special podcast before I propose, which actually it's
I think I
coming.
just made it cut out.
It's coming up
Woo!
in about 5 days. So.
Heyo, holla.
So yeah, we just wanted to basically talk about my plans before I execute the plans to engage Connie Ann.
Execute it, dude. Engage her.
Yeah, execute.
Dude, okay, so 5 days, that's this Wednesday, which is...
The 29th.
Okay, the 29th of August. So by the time that you're listening to this, it's going to be way later, maybe even months later, maybe even
If
years
not
later.
years or decades.
Decades.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to go on forever, so...
Honestly, we'll probably be excited and put it out in a month.
Yeah, probably. But it's not going to be news to anyone. But it's cool because we get kind of behind the scenes. So Jeremy, just a little background. Jeremy just divulged this news to me. What was it, last week? 2 weeks ago?
No, last week.
This
week,
okay.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, this week. You've been talking about getting a lot more serious with Connie in the last few months. Things have been going really well with you guys. And so you sort of mentioned before, you were thinking about getting engaged in August, September, but then you didn't mention it for a long time. So I meant to always ask you about it, but we hadn't talked about it in a while. So, but now, dude, you have a ring, right? So start from the beginning.
So what is the hardest thing in life? What is the hardest thing on earth?
What? The hardest?
Yeah, answer that question.
Oh, I think the answer is a diamond. I don't know if that's true, but it's a diamond, right?
Well,
yeah.
So the answer is the hardest material on earth that I know of, I don't know, is a diamond.
Okay.
But
yeah.
The second hardest thing is paying for it. Okay. So I just wanted to bam. So what's funny is my uncle Terry, he's probably 60, 65. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's been telling me that story since I was a little kid. So it's
That's
an old
amazing.
Man joke basically. But
I love that. I've never heard that. That was an authentic laugh for me just now.
I'm full. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So you got a ring, you paid for it.
Well, yeah. Well, let's back up. So,
okay.
Yeah, I've kind of been planning to propose between August and October. And that's just been the plan for the last probably 6 or 7 months. And I haven't really said anything. It's kind of been quiet. And then last week, I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm doing it in a week and a half. And you're like, what?
I was freaking out, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's, yeah.
Okay.
I feel, yeah.
Okay, so obviously there's a lot of people in our lives that are probably listening to this that know you and Connie, or maybe know one of you guys. Maybe they know me too. It doesn't matter. But maybe there's probably a lot of people listening now trying to think. This is the first day, so I'm trying to think more broadly. There's a lot of people that might not know you or Connie. Can you give a quick 2-minute recap of your relationship, your history together, everything that's led up to this point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I met her just over 3 years ago. I used to work for the family business, LeBron's Landscaping, and Connie got hired on, just kind of worked in the office and did administrative work. And I was around her a lot at the office. And before that, we both went to Foothills Church. And so we knew of each other and whatnot. But
so you came up to your desk, you're like, hey, how you doing?
Well, pretty much. I mean, honestly, she saw my numbers, saw my sales. I was like, all right, this guy's not playing. So... No, actually, what's funny is she, from what I understand, is at first did not like me.
Understandably,
didn't think I was attractive, which I don't understand to this day. Look at me, but whatever. And so yeah, she started working there, and from day one, I was pretty interested. I thought, oh, this girl's cute, and I've always heard of her, and I want to get to know her. So after probably 2 or 3 weeks of talking around the office and texting, finding reasons to talk to her, I asked her to go on a date, and we went fishing on the one and only Julianne.
The Julianne.
Which is my boat.
The myth, the legend.
Yeah, that's currently not starting up right now. Anyway, and then that was fun. And then that same night, I kind of tricked her into going to my friend of mine was having like a couples party, it's like 10 people, but everyone was couples there, and I kind of tricked her into going, and she had no idea it was gonna be like a couples dinner. And so she showed up like, oh, this is like a date kind of thing. And then a week later,
sneaky little guy, you.
Right, we went on another day and we went fishing again. That's kind of funny. So that day, it was the same day one of my brothers was getting engaged, and so that morning it was like 8 o'clock. We were planning on going fishing, and my mom was like, "Oh, what are you doing today?" I'm like, "Oh, going fishing." And she was like, "No, you're gonna be late for their surprise engagement party." Blah blah blah. And my dad was like, "Oh, Julie, just calm down. It'll be fine." And sure enough, fast forward, it's like 2 o'clock. We're out there. It's time to head back and head back to the port and get ready to pack up the boat.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of San Diego Bay, and the boat breaks down and wouldn't start.
Nice.
And so we ended up. I only had one paddle at the time, so I handed her like a knee board, a big old knee board, and I used the paddle. And
why would you hand her the paddle?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking. Anyway,
which one was easier? The paddle. What?
The paddle. I don't know, but whatever. Who cares? Well, I should care. Anyway,
sure
we got back to found some like dock all the way across the wrong side of the bay, and I ended up like finding like some like maintenance like worker there, and we ended up disconnecting the batteries from the boat and like taking them to get charged up, but that whole time took about 2 hours, and so that gave us about 2 hours to just like problem solve together and be alone together. And because that same day I had a friend with me who was also fishing too, so he sat on the boat and me and Connie went to do all this work, and so we had 2 hours alone, like whatever. And while the batteries were charging, me and her were sitting on the grass like by the water just talking alone, and that was kind of like our first real time of like connecting.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's how it started. And then we dated for about a year. It was overall good. We definitely had a good amount of conflict and a lot of things in both of us that just came up. And
how old were you again?
So we started dating. I was 20. Yeah, 20.
20. Yeah.
So we were both 20, both young. And then so we started dating in August or September, and then fast forward to February, 6 months later is when I turned 21. I kind of give you an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then after about a year of dating, we ended up breaking up and just having time apart. And I remember that was like a really hard time of life for the both of us. We broke up for about a year, and during that time, kind of on and off talking. And basically in that time, I basically like became someone and did stuff like that I would have never respected when other friends I knew like did. Does that make sense? Like I broke up with her, and I basically just drug it out, and I would go back and forth, and we'd be together for a week and then not be together, and then kind of talk and not talk. Like I basically became like someone I didn't respect. And ever seen like Friends, Ross and Rachel? It wasn't like that, not that dramatic, and it was kind of like that, but more like a private scale. People weren't really aware of what was going on, but I would be talking to her when people thought I wasn't, kind of thing. Yeah. And just went back and forth, and at the end of the day, I just simply couldn't make a decision either way. I couldn't decide to be with her or to not be with her. And but so fast forward a year of that basically, and there were times. There's like one stretch where it's about I think 4 months where we had like zero communication, just nothing. And I think that was really good for us. That caused a lot of growth and just a lot of things to be realized on both of our ends that we both had to work through. And as we got back together after a full year of being apart, I think just that for me was a growing experience. I got to a point to where I felt in my heart like I personally was ready to be back with her. Like I felt like I had gone through the change that I needed to go through. Also felt that she had grown a lot in a lot of areas, and we both did a lot of growing and change. The problem was some close people in my life weren't really excited about us being back together, and so it was a hard thing for me to I would seek counsel. I met with people, and a lot of people were for it and a few weren't. So it was a hard decision to choose to let some people down, but to do what I felt was right. And when I say I felt was right, I don't mean just like in my heart I wanted to be with her. I meant I prayed about it, I sought counsel, and I walked through it with a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, you asked a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people were involved. And I think that was one thing I learned was too many people were involved. I probably had at least 10 or 12 different older people than me involved. And so,
with different opinions.
Yeah, and so that just clouded my mind. And so long story short, I got back together, and it's been over a year now being back together, and it's just been great. There's definitely been things to work on, but I feel like I made the right decision. And
but the relationship's at a different maturity level now, right? Where you guys are at different places in life. You've both grown. You've both acknowledged all the shortcomings that you had before when you were with each other. And so in general, it's not like you just kind of picked up where you left off, right? It's where you picked up in a different place, in a more mature place.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, one thing I tell people is it's not that we're together and it's like it's perfect. I think it's how we handle the differences and how we handle the conflict when it comes. Is before it was both of us, like no matter what the situation was, we both were going to die on that hill. We were going to defend ourselves and like just stand firm. And now it's a bit more give and take. And just overall, I think just being more mature, simply put, just being mature in how you handle stuff. And so.
Okay, so how long have you been together now? Since you got back together.
It's been just over a year.
Okay, so it's been over a year, and now
actually, holy crap, no, not so. Next Saturday is our year anniversary of being back together. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, you got to remember that. Oh wait, wow.
I
So
I don't know. I forgot. Yeah. So edit that part out.
Nope.
Hold on, we heard a noise.
Connie is actually here. She's around the house, but she doesn't know that we're in here talking about her. So
you got to watch that window.
Okay, I'll be watching. Continue.
So this Saturday, a week from today, is our year anniversary of being back together. So all in all, we've been together 2 years, but then we have been involved in this for over 3 years.
Okay, so now explain to me a little bit what has led up to you now feeling like this girl is marriage material. We want to spend the rest of our lives together. You know what I mean? Like those are big decisions. You got to pay for the rock. How'd you get there?
So when we broke up the first time, I have not told really anyone. A few people have told this. I think I've told Connie that's about it.
Okay, well, you're telling the world now, so.
Well, the world. We'll see how.
Yeah.
Anyway, when we broke up that first time, I don't know. I always kind of felt like in my heart of hearts that we were going to be back together. I just kind of felt that way. I never really felt done with her.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it was so hard to like actually like walk away from her, you know, because I never truly just felt done. I always felt like we were going to be together. And so anyway, fast forward to where we are now. But I mean, a lot of reasons. I think at the heart of it, I think just who Connie is as a person. I think the way she loves people, the way she knows how to, you know, accomplish and do the things that she wants to do. The way she loves me, the way she prefers me. Connie is one of those people that like when she is like into something, she's like all in. So she's all into
she's
me.
all into you, bro. She's all about you.
And I've never had the fear or worry that she's gonna get tired of me or like want to move on. I never ever felt that way. I think she's 100% like sold and wants to be with me. And so I think just finding someone that really, you know, loves me and that I love as well. And also like just on a more practical side, I think we think the same in a lot of ways. Connie is an extremely hard worker, and I like to work, and I love someone that wants to work side by side with me. And you know, Connie hustles, and she's just overall like cool. I mean, I can be my absolute self around her, like, and we just have fun together. And I mean, overall, like, just I mean, that's kind of how I just realized at the heart of it, this is who I want to be with. That's the bottom line. Yeah. And there are differences, and it's time to you know, either work through them or walk away. And I've decided this is what I want to do. And
So what was there like a specific moment where you're like, okay, you know what, like I'm gonna go buy a ring, or was it like, you know, we're kind of getting close to where, you know, kind of getting close to the timeline where we wanted to get engaged, and like you just kind of made that decision, like, yeah, I'm ready?
I wouldn't say a specific moment, but I would say that when we got back together last August, and I would say probably like this year at the beginning of the year, probably like January, I think it was. There's this girl in her life, little girl. Her name's Willow, and it's actually.
Oh yeah, she's here too.
Yeah, she's here right now. So Willow is Connie's kind of a weird situation. So it's Connie's sister's ex-boyfriend's daughter. That is who Willow is. If you're following me, so. Basically, Connie has no like blood connection to her. Just it's a little girl that Connie just absolutely loves, and anytime she can, Connie will drop everything for this girl. And I can't remember what we were doing or where we were, but there was one day where I was spending time with both those girls, Connie and Willow, and just the way Connie was like loving her, I realized like I want someone to love me and my kids the way Connie is, and it was like that just paired with kind of where we were at, like we were just growing, and we would talk, having good conversation, and just that season of life for us, about a year, 6 months ago, it all in all just made me decide, okay, this is like who I want to be with, and yeah, that was kind of
yeah, yeah. So you're confident in it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you have the ring. What's your plan?
Okay, so
Why that face?
I don't know. It's because it's fun. Anyway, I'm super excited. So make sure you watch.
I'm watching, bro. I got you.
Dude. She's super sneaky. You know what? I kind of want to check if she's watching. Anyway, so her biggest. I'm gonna talk quieter. So her biggest.
Yeah, talk quieter.
Did you hear that door just now, bro?
I did. This is scary.
This is sketchy.
We're all right. She can't hear you through the wall, so
yeah, that's true.
just talk quieter and really close to the microphone.
Like this. Okay, this is fun. So her biggest criteria is to be surprised. That's what she wants.
Okay.
So I've kind of thought, okay, how can I? If you guys know Connie, she is pretty on top of things and is aware, and so she's hard to surprise. So she's mentioned that. She's also mentioned that she would like to be engaged at Liberty Station. That's kind of our go-to date area, and so I've been thinking, how can I get her down there, and how can I surprise her? So, my idea is, I gotta explain. So me and Connie, I actually just purchased a business. It's called Events.com. Go check it out. We do rentals for events, specifically weddings, and we specialize in. This is like an advertising.
So if you're in San Diego, hit Jeremy up for some wedding stuff.
Yeah, we do farm tables and seating and lighting and whatnot. Anyway, StecklerEvents.com. Check it out. Part of that business is we work with venues throughout San Diego, and we work with wedding planners and event coordinators. And so we work with a few venues at Liberty Station. And there's one venue called Building 177, and the venue manager, her name is Allie. She's a Christian, really cool girl. And basically, my idea was I called her up and said, hey, can you here's what's going on. I want to propose. This is my plan, whatever. Can you send an email to myself and Connie, initiating a meeting, to say, hey, can you guys come down?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this event, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you, of course, Allie, you don't have to be there. Just initiate the meeting, make Connie think we're going down there for a work meeting. And I'll go ahead of time, and I'm going to have the whole place decked out and prepared. And so when we walk in, it'll be just a complete surprise. So that's kind of my plan, and
Okay.
I called her, and she was super on board with it. And yeah, so kind of the details. So I'm going down there that on Wednesday, probably in the morning around 8 or 9. Gonna buy a bunch of flowers and get some photos.
Buy a ton of flowers. Double what you think you probably need, because we're stingy as men and we don't think that.
Yeah, and it's a big warehouse. That's kind of the venue with a ton of windows, cool lighting. So we're gonna walk in basically. There's you walk in. There's kind of almost not an office, but it's what's the word? It's the pre-room before you get into the big warehouse. And so it's an empty room. We're gonna walk in there. And we walk in there, I'm going to have candles and stuff set up. So it looks like something's going on. She's going to kind of know what's happening.
Get 1,000 candles.
Yeah, a lot. And then I'm going to open these big doors. I'm going to open them. And then it's going to be a huge warehouse that opens up. Ooh. And I'm going to have basically a pathway of rose petals and flower petals and just flowers and candles and photos. All this stuff to basically make a meandering pathway, and it's going to lead to a certain spot, probably the middle of the warehouse.
Yeah.
Where it's going to kind of open up in a little circle, and that's where I'll walk her to, and then boom, I'll hit her with it.
You're going to hit her with the diamond, just boom, just smack in the face.
No, I mean,
are you going to say anything, or are you just going to drop down on the knee? You're just going to go right into it, or
give her a little speech. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little speech. Yeah, I think I've noticed. So one of our other friends just got engaged. And I was asking him about his whole plan, and I was thinking about myself too. When Monique and I got engaged, and you always think of course, there's 1,000 things that you could say in your little spiel,
you
right?
Think you'll know what to say, and then you get there.
You'll know what to say.
Don't.
Yeah, you don't at all. And usually you end up kind of writing something down hours before. I was pretty much still working on mine when I was waiting for me to come to the spot where I was going to engage. Okay, so it's a huge building. She won't be able to tell anything that's going on from the outside. Mm-hmm. Come into the building, and then it's sort of oh, that's interesting. Some candles. Open the door,
boom,
and then bam, just flowers and petals everywhere.
Picture a big, probably 10, 15,000 square feet, a big open rustic warehouse with a bunch of cool windows and lighting. And yeah, that's kind of what it's
Okay.
going to open up into. And then,
Are you gonna have a photographer?
yes, I have someone who's going to be stashed there in a corner ready to go.
Okay. Sick. Dude, how are you feeling?
Good. I feel good.
Are you nervous? I mean, do you have like all of your supplies? Do you have like anyone that's gonna help you?
Honestly, I don't got jack yet, so I'm
You
kind of I don't worry. No, I have someone who's gonna help me, Jenny Steckler. She's
Okay.
actually the person
Yeah.
who I bought the company
Yeah.
from. So she can help
She's
me
awesome.
like decorate and kind of know what to do.
Because you're not gonna go jack. You're not gonna know jack squat about decorating.
all
and
I
stuff.
really need to do between the problem is I'm like with Connie every day, so I don't know when to do all this. But probably Monday, I need to get some like photos printed off and go buy some picture frames, and like that's all I need to do. Besides that, the day of, I'll buy the flowers and like Jenny has candles, and then we'll decorate it. So I don't need a whole lot. But yeah, and so that's kind of the plan. I want it to be one of those moments to where we like walk in like, oh, this is odd. Like she's gonna know like when she sees something's going on, and then I want to like open that door and just have like a moment where it's like, oh man,
just looking.
This is cool.
Yeah, like
kind
you're
of
about.
it
It's about to
hits us.
happen.
And then I don't want it to be like she sees it and then I'm on one knee giving a speech proposing. I want it to be like she sees it and it's kind of like we have like probably like a minute of it like just setting in, so we get to like walk follow this
full
pathway.
minute?
I don't know, because that pathway is gonna be like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping she's gonna be like shocked, like surprised, because I really don't think she knows what's coming. Actually, I was with her when Allie sent the email. It's kind of funny.
Oh, that's funny.
And she's like, oh, shoot. She's like, Allie wants to meet next week. Like, oh, hopefully it's good though. And she got all excited. And she's like, can you do it next Wednesday? And I was like, 5? Yeah, I think I can do that. And I was like, super. Oh, so here's my other plan. So.
Wait, your other plan?
Yeah. So
plan B?
I gotta throw her off, because she's. I don't think
I see.
she knows. She knows it's coming up within the next week or two, but she doesn't know like how. And so
She does? How does she know?
She just. Well, we've talked. I don't know. She just.
Dude, women are
she's
so.
She's been super snoopy and asking all these questions, and like I've tried to be sly, and anyway, so our 1 year anniversary is on Wednesday is when I'm gonna propose.
Yeah.
But on Saturday is the 1 year anniversary.
That's right.
And she's talked about like wanting to be engaged on that day.
Oh.
And so what I'm thinking is this, like I think on like Monday or Tuesday of this week, I'm going to probably like send her a text.
Yeah,
I want to make it like weird.
Like, let's go out on Saturday.
Right. So I'm going to say, here's my plan. I'm like, hey, like, do you want to like go out Saturday night, I don't know, like something like, I think I want to say, hey, we'll spend the day together Saturday, but at night, do you want to go see a movie at the Law with Brittany and Nick? Because we do that with them a lot.
Yeah.
And the Law is this place in Liberty Station.
Yeah, it's
bomb. I think just like saying that will put the thought in her head, like, oh, he's tricking me, like he's gonna propose.
Yeah,
there,
say like, let's spend the whole day together.
Yeah.
We'll make it a nice day. It's our anniversary.
Yeah. So that's.
But then you'll
thinking.
just bam pop it before then.
Yeah, exactly. So she has no idea. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, and yeah, dude.
I mean, that's not kind of what you're thinking. Like, this is your.
Okay, that is.
Dude, it's in 4 days. I mean, this is your plan.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
So that's basically it. I mean, I talked with her dad, talked with Mike Van Meter, and it was all good, and just got talked with other people as well, and it's all been good.
Okay, so who did you ask and why?
So I got together with Mike Van Meter because he's kind of like
who's he?
So Mike Van Meter is a pastor from Foothills and our church, and he's kind of always
he's a G.
Yeah, he's cool. He's always been like Connie's like kind of I would say spiritual dad in a sense. It sounds weird, but
like a father figure.
Yeah, like a father figure, but kind of from the church basically.
Right.
And so she's kind of just been submitted under his counsel and guidance, and she's come to the Lord. So he was someone I needed to talk with, and then her dad, obviously. Those are the two main people that I had to like ask their blessing for.
Yeah.
And they both were really good, and it was cool. And I always thought when I was younger, like I would be nervous with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. Like I kind of just felt good and natural, and it was fun. It was honestly like fun.
That's good.
And her dad was, it was all just good. So
yeah. Dude, I was so nervous. Story for another time. I mean, we've already talked about this, obviously, but
you made me nervous. I thought I would be, and I kind of was like beforehand, but once I was there, I felt fine. Like
I didn't feel fine at all throughout. I was sweating so bad.
It's because Monique's dad hates you.
Hey, it's not true. Sam, I love you. Okay, cool. So you're getting engaged on Wednesday. When do you kind of like have any idea of like when you want to get married or like
timeline? I said, if you know Connie, she's pretty.
Yes.
She's she
so
has
she
things
already
figured
has
out.
things.
Yeah, so probably January 19th. I mean.
Oh, so like
I don't know.
Already a specific date.
Yeah, she has a specific date.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's like 5.5 months. I mean, I've feel fine. I actually kind of want like a shorter engagement, so I
Yeah,
don't
totally.
really care.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, by January 19th.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Well, we'll see, right? I mean, after you get engaged.
Yeah.
But
She has to say yes first.
That's true. That's true. We'll see if she does. I'm not really sure at this point. You guys are kind
I'm
of,
pretty sure.
we'll see. I don't know. Anyways, I mean, I think that pretty much wraps it up, right? I mean, this is the plan. Everyone's hearing this. It's already going to happen. So you'll know if she said yes or no based on what you see in Go Track Town later on. But super happy for you. I love you both a ton. And
I cry. Stop.
Are you serious?
No. Fool.
Oh, dang it.
Macho man.
Do you think you're gonna cry on your wedding day?
Ooh. Okay, hold on. Side story.
Okay.
So Corey,
Okay, I have a story about this too. Go ahead.
Corey was a freaking mess on his wedding day. It was
a
probably
disaster.
the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I was his best man, so I'm standing by him, and there's like probably at least 10 photos of like right when Monique was walking down the aisle, of Corey just like losing his marbles, like crying like crazy, and I'm just behind him like
literally laughing. The pictures are him like busting up red laughing.
It was so at first I was like, what do I do? Do I pat his back? It was my first time being the best man, so at first I was kind of like patting his back, like, okay, you're gonna be a good man. But as soon as like she wrapped the corner, he was like, oh man, here I go, and he like just lost it, and I just like lost it laughing. Anyway, will I cry? I don't know. I feel like I will.
The real question is, does Connie want you to cry?
Of course.
Oh, of course.
But I'm pretty. I feel like I'm an emotional guy. So
I think so.
I think I'll cry. I'll be shocked if I don't.
I mean, I didn't think that I was an emotional guy very much, and then it was just like all the emotion in the last 23 years. Yeah, just all at once. Side story about that. Ironically, so what was it? Monique just got a new phone because she lost her old phone. I'm not going to tell the story.
Does that bother you, Corey?
No, not at all.
Okay.
In fact, her phone was like literally falling to pieces.
Okay, on your face, she looked a bit like.
Yeah, no. And we tried to get a phone like 3 months ago, but anyways, there were some details that didn't work out. But she just got a new phone, so she decided to get a new background, and she decided to make her background me crying because it makes her happy.
Am I in it?
I think you are, like barely. I think so.
I hope I am.
Yeah,
like
I think it's like
teeth all like I slap.
Yeah, I have this like gnarly vein going down the side of my face.
Is it the one with your hand over your face, kind of like?
No, it's literally right when I started crying, and like I'm just making like this ugly like constipated face almost. Also, side story. So what was this last? I don't know. Recently, we went up to Seattle to see another friend get engaged, and so we were all like kind of. Anyways, it was like this big elaborate plan. We were all hiding like in this Airbnb, looking through a window, watching it happen, and she had no idea that we were watching, and she didn't know that we were there at all either. And so we're watching it happen, and then as soon as it gets down on one knee and she says yes, she starts crying, and so we come up to him afterwards, and she's surprised to see us, and Kyle's all, "You'll never guess what she just said." And we're like, what? She's like, okay, well, I proposed. I said, will you marry me? And she said, yes. And she started crying and like uncontrollably. And she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm Corey crying. I was like, oh God. And like, it's a thing. Like if you're crying really hard, it's a Corey cry. So, Oxford Dictionary, if you're listening, you can add that in there. Uncontrollable red-faced cry from a man.
There's a next level to this too. So if you thought that was it, like, oh, Corey, just like that was a cool moment. No, he's actually kind of a baby. So after the ceremony, like you remember. So after, I pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Haynes, whatever. And everyone walks out, and so Corey and Monique walked out first, right? And there's like a lobby outside the ceremony room, and then the rest of the bridal party came out there too. And so I walk around the corner in these glass doors, and I see Corey like still bawling, just like.
Well, I started crying even harder.
Yeah, like harder. And then Monique was just laughing, like, "What do I do?" And Corey like, "I don't know why." Just like,
yeah, dude, it was so bad. Funny. Well, because so I was crying really hard. I started crying even when her. I started crying immediately when her little sister started walking down. She was the first one. I looked at you. I was like, dude, I'm losing it. Like, it's coming. And then, like, I started really crying. And then when I saw her, like, then I was just bawling my eyes out. And then I kind of had to, like, get it together for a second to what do you call it? Take the hand,
Do the vows.
when her, her dad Sam passes her to me, the whole symbolic gesture. But I had to kind of get it together, and then I was kind of sniffling, and then I thought like, dude, I can't like cry while I'm doing my vows, so I have to stop. So I stopped. But I think like all that just kind of like got like pent up, and I wasn't like done crying. You know what I mean? So then we were done, and we went out. It just, dude, again, I just lost it, and I was like, I don't know why. I don't know how. I'm not even sure what I'm crying about anymore because we're married. But yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah,
so,
that's funny.
anyways, look forward to seeing your pictures crying. Hopefully, I'm there too, laughing at you, so that I can return the favor. But super stoked for you, man.
Yeah, me too.
Hope she says yes.
Yeah,
She will.
Me too.
You'll be fine. You'll be good. Okay. Well, I think that wraps up this special episode of Jeremy Get Engaged. Welcoming in a new Laban to the family. So wish him luck, even though it'll already happen. But thanks for listening. We'd love to hear your engagement stories or anything about if you're thinking about getting engaged, if you need help. We might be able to help you. I don't know. We kind of just figured it out as we go. But anyways, subscribe, leave a review, and we'll talk to you later in the next episode.
All right. Peace and chicken grease.
Peace out.